Feels right.
It feels right.
3. Remember when I used to go, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1? Well, hello and welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Yeah, dude.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your house. But there was something truly special about riding your bike to Blockbuster because you were concerned about the environment, picking out a movie by hand, taking it home to watch. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me as always, two dudes who want to die and come back as leotards. Sean Pryor and AJ Vance, how the heck are you?
We've also eaten each other's toenails before.
Yeah.
So I just want to say
For
that we
reals?
are very, very close.
Did you ever play the fart sniffing game?
Great friends.
Would never do that.
Yeah, that's weird.
No.
I also don't think anybody could be good at that because all farts kind of smell like farts.
Yeah.
See, I think farts are also just as defined by the environment that you're in as much as what you ate that created it.
Very true.
Really?
Yeah, I think all farts in like a school classroom all smell the same.
Sometimes like a buddy will fart who lives in a different house. Obviously,
yeah.
he'll come over and it will smell like his house.
Dude,
but also ass.
You're absolutely right. Like anytime I've ever smelt a fart on an airplane, it's always been the same fart.
Yeah, there's like a chemical combustion that
I
happens
think you're right.
with recycled air at that altitude. That's what happens. Yeah.
And also like my farts at the end of vacation always smell the same. Like it's always different at the end by like day 6.
Vacay farts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vacay farts.
They're
Vacay farts.
Vacay farts.
They're very hot at the end of vacay.
Well, dudes, on today's episode, we discuss farts and a movie. We discuss a movie that won 3 awards. Yep. A Razzie for Pauly Shore as the worst actor, and a Stinker Award for the worst on-screen hairstyle for Stephan Baldwin, and for most painfully unfunny comedy. Our first movie that was sentenced to jail during an on-trial episode. It served its time, and it's now on a vengeance tour. A movie that taught us all not to act locally, but to act globally. We're, of course, talking about 1996's Biodome.
I'm sorry.
Think it
Well,
means it goes
damn
both
it.
ways?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with The Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Thank
Well,
you.
if you're new to this podcast, it's kind of weird you're picking Biodome as your first episode, but that's cool to us because we're going to be reviewing it scene by scene with a modern eye. In order to do that properly, we believe that we must first talk about it with nostalgia only so we can strip it away and never discuss it again. So, Sean, we're going to start with you today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Biodome. First time you saw it, what were your thoughts, man?
Okay, yeah, I think this was maybe a basement VHS at my uncle's that he had that me and my brother would go over there and
Sponsor us.
watch.
Sean's uncle. Sean's uncle's house. Sean's uncle's house. Sponsor us.
Mark, please sponsor us. Yeah, and there's nothing for children to do while they played ping pong and drank at us, so we watched
at you.
Biodome. And
Kid, someday this is going to be you, but not now.
Go get me another one. Just shaking the
This is my
empties at you.
it's a full glass.
Getting on you.
Yeah, me and my brother loved this movie, along with Encino Man and Three Ninjas and all of those kinds of movies that we watched. Pauly Shore is hilarious and fart jokes are funny. So I'm gonna give this a 9.5.
Oh, AJ, what about you, man?
My brothers showed me this movie along with it was this, and it lived in the exact same ethos as In the Army Now.
Okay.
It was basically, it felt like every time we watched one, we watched the other. Like it was just, it had to happen. I thought it was hilarious because like when you're a kid, you don't need you certainly don't want you don't want anything to do with actual like storylines. You just want funny things to quote and like reenact.
Yep.
so you can just walk around and be like, and be Pauly Shore. You know, that's all you want to do when you're like 12 years old or 11 and just be obnoxious and don't know how awkward you are. But I would watch this. It would be like my brothers, my two older brothers, like Ray and Dave, would just be either watching this movie and quoting it and thinking it's hilarious, and then listening to stuff like Judas Priest and Red Hot Chili Peppers. So that was basically what my life was in a nutshell, was just listening to them from the staircase and trying to watch this movie. I thought it was hilarious. It was very quotable, and I was like, those girls are hot. So there you go.
Which ones?
All of them.
There you go, man.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
dude.
much all of them.
Yeah, dude. So I will give this, you know what, nostalgically, I'll give this an 8.4.
Yeah.
8.4. This movie was one of the rare few movies that I just saw and I wanted to be, right? Like we talked about that with Encino Man. I wanted to be Link. I dressed like Link. I wanted to grow my hair out like him. And
How
have
old were you when you wanted to be Biodome?
I was like, so I first saw this in like 96, 97, right? I wanted to be, my nickname for drumline in marching band was Squirrely.
Oh, no.
It was etched on my little hat that I had.
I thought you were going to say in your hair.
No. I just thought it's cool when you see these kind of like free spirited people, which I very much maybe wasn't, you know, but you're like, oh, it's so cool. They just do whatever they want. Like, that's cool. It's easy to attach yourself to that. And then when I got to college, like this was pretty much like every time me and my buddy Dilly got home from the bar, it was like Biodome, you know, like it was just our come home from the bars movie. I love this movie. I'm at 9.5 nostalgically on this. And we got to go to Josh Miller, executive producer. He says, I don't remember when I first saw Biodome. I'm sure it was well after it came out in theaters, and I remember watching it often. Dare I say I had this on VHS previously viewed from Hollywood Video. While moving out of state and in an effort to appease the girlfriend, not the same one that hated Jingle All the Way or basketball, I threw them all out. Sure, I could have donated them, but I was at the point of moving when you just don't care about anything and you just want to throw it all away.
I understand.
Sure, it probably made more sense then, but here I am 8 years later and have all 1,200 plus DVD and 300 plus Blu-ray still in boxes.
Wow.
This part of the 90s was peak time Pauly Shore. No hate, but I feel like it was a weird peak. Does he have an everlong legacy because of 5 movies? In no particular order, we had Biodome, Jury Duty, Encino Man, Son-in-Law, and my personal favorite, In the Army Now. For those gamers, if you paid close enough attention in one of the beginning scenes, they were playing the wildly underappreciated game Return Fire. One of my favorite PS1 games of all time. Opposed to Surf Ninjas, I was 100% the target demographic for this movie. I know he's been in more stuff, but I can't think of anything else besides those movies. And he had an MTV show, right? He was on a few episodes of Entourage. Yeah, I'm a bro. What are you going to do about it? Nostalgically, it's tough to think badly on this movie. It was a great time in my life, and this movie brought a ton of laughter from me and my friends. I'll give it a 7.5.
Okay.
So, friends, that's an 8.73 nostalgically.
It's pretty high.
Which is
Respect.
the 13th spot, just below Last Action Hero, just above The Rock is where that falls.
I have a sneaking suspicion that will horribly change.
We tried to
No.
predict that last week. I thought it was going to change, and it really didn't. So
Yeah, it's true.
we'll see what happens on this one. We got to start stripping away that nostalgia, so we got to talk about the modern day stuff. Sean's going to let us all know the important details of the movie. Sean, what do you got, bro?
Hey, everybody. Biodome was produced by Steven Stabler, Brad Crevoy, and Bradley Jankel. Story by Adam Leff, Mitchell Peck, and Jason Blumenthal. Screenplay by Kip Koenig and Scott Marcano. Music by Andrew Gross. He actually is a music supervisor or producer on I Think You Should Leave. Kind of fun.
Dang.
Cinematography by Fidan Pepamichael. I'll do it again. Fidan Papamichael.
One more time?
Yeah.
Fidan Papamichael. He also did Phenomenon, Identity, great movies.
Oh, yeah.
Sideways, he worked with, what's his name? Sideways, Nebraska. We just did one of his movies.
Peter.
Election. Didn't do that
Yeah.
movie, but worked with that director who is escaping my brain right now.
Yeah.
Also did Walk the Line, 310 to Yuma, Ford versus Ferrari, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, and Cool Runnings.
Sweet.
So this guy, he had a hand in this movie as well.
Yes. He won an Oscar for Ford v Ferrari.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the
Directed
places
by-
started at the bottom. Now we're here.
Look at him. Look at him go. Directed by Jason Blum. He directed episodes of Veronica Mars and that iZombie show. Cast: Pauly Shore, Stephen Baldwin, Joey Lauren Adams, Teresa Hill, Adam Weisman, Henry Gibson, Rose McGowan, Jack Black, Kyle Gass, Phil Lamar, Kylie Minogue, Denise Dowse, Kevin West, and William Atherton. Originally, the film was going to star Dana Gould and Harlan Williams. Alec Baldwin, who knows a thing or two about ending careers, told his brother, Stephen Baldwin, that that doing this movie could end his career. The Biodome is actually the Donald C. Tillman water reclamation plant in Van Nuys, California.
So it's okay. Never mind. Yeah.
Biodome was released on January 12th, 1996, and on a budget of $8.5 million, the film made $13.4 million at the box office. That is it. I searched and searched and searched and searched.
It's fine, man.
Could only come up with the Alec Baldwin joke.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Jeez, AJ, can you do better than that? What do you got for ratings, reviews, critics, fans, and likes?
Hi, I'm Doyle.
And I'm Bud.
And we're not saving the environment. We're thinking about the tomato meter.
Gross.
That's a good one. That's good.
Good one.
By the way, yes, this is extremely gross. This is a big old 4.
So, okay.
4,
Guys.
And normally when I pull somebody over, they pull over to the shoulder.
That is our lowest of any movie we've done. It is a 4. Just to put it in perspective, Cocktails at a 7, Blank Checks a 9. 4. Throwing that out there. 4%.
No, just 4%.
Where's Mario Brothers?
On the which one? Which one we talking about here?
Tomato.
Today? The tomatoes. I will tell you, Mario Bros on the tomatoes. I remember the critics weirdly thought
It was good.
it was a 29.
Okay. This is
wait.
solid. Yeah.
Wait till we get to IMDb here.
So audiences did disagree. It's decent discrepancy here. 51% from the audiences. I always like to say this. The critic consensus on this, like its two obnoxious protagonists, this dreadfully unfunny Pauly Shore vehicle should remain separated from society. Well, we tried. Okay, we put it in prison, and unfortunately, it got out on good behavior. So, 4.4 on IMDb.
Interestingly enough, I want to throw this out there. When we did this, when we put this into jail, it was at 4.3. So I feel like our work has actually helped bring it up a little bit. It's a 4.4 now, second from the bottom.
You know, there was people on the picket line when it was going to jail and going to court all those times, and they probably watched the shit out of it and bumped it up.
Second from the bottom, my friends, Super Mario Brothers is a 4.1. Surf Ninjas just above that at a 5.
Okay.
So right in the middle of those two.
I know I don't do the general average Metascore anymore, but I thought this was even funnier than the Rotten Tomatoes. This is a 1 out of 100.
Because I couldn't give it a 0.
Because I couldn't give it a 0. Biodome. So let's see. I'll give you the highest rating that I found on here was a 42 out of the 100.
That's the highest one you have.
Entertainment Weekly found something entertaining about this.
Do you think this guy then after the fact's like, God damn it, I'm the highest?
He's like, damn it. I thought I was
trying to be nice, but I didn't want to be too mean.
I didn't want to be a jerk, but oh man. I was trying to be nice I met Pauly Shore this one time at this weird mixer thing at an art show. I don't know.
He's a nice guy.
He was a nice guy. I just didn't want to bash the movie.
It was like when I judged a drum off at Guitar Center once, and they were all terrible, but I gave them all like 7.6.
Ooh.
And the guy next to me was like, 7.6? The other judge, he's like, I gave him a 2. I was like, I'm trying to be nice, bro.
Was it public or was it anonymous?
Public.
Oh, wow. That guy's
He's like, were they a 7.6? I'm like, no. He's like, no, why'd you judge him a 7.6?
Because he's 13.
Because he fucking entered a competition, asshole.
Yeah. They're just
this guy.
They just want some positive feedback, for God's sakes. You're trying to end their career now? He's 12 years old, for God's sake.
Do you think they needed positive feedback on this movie?
Well, apparently Entertainment Weekly thought so. Even with the low expectations, any reasonable viewer brings to a Shore flick, this rates only stupid plus. The bongs and pajama sets should be riveted. Pauly Shore's. There were so many zeros, guys.
You could give it a 0.
I mean, yeah, you could. Like, okay, so there is.
Go ahead.
There's like 7 or 8 zeros on here, and then there was a 20 and a 42. This is what averaged it out to a 0. So, just want to say, neither. How about Variety? They gave it a 0. Neither the script nor direction lives up to the concept, and the picture evolves into biodegradable hash rather than a zany stand-up of potent issues and serious intent gone awry. Thank you.
The film was entertaining, so I need to make my review at least a little bit entertaining.
Yeah. We did have from the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers in our Discord exclusive channel. Join in if you want on Patreon. You certainly can. Jarrett Layoff did get in there again as well. He got Jarrett Layoff me, I'm starving. He said he did say this movie nostalgically is so much better than it is in modern day. He said that his girlfriend and my girlfriend and I have been watching movie after movie, just having a wonderful time. We don't have a child yet, but Jarrett has a great idea. Let's prop the sliding door open, crack a couple beers, and watch the comedic classic Biodome. Making a filter. They've been quoting that forever now. So they did watch the entire movie, and he basically just said, "I'm sorry."
But hey, that is the importance of this show. Is a lot of times we tackle these kind of movies, and people fail to think about it modernly.
Yeah.
You just heard our rating nostalgically. Like the way we remember it was one of our highest movies.
It's true.
But then you have to strip it away and think about it modern day, and that's what we're here to do.
Yep. So Devin also said in our Little Lebowski Urban Achievers, he did say when he first heard about the podcast, this was one of the movies he thought of.
Okay.
That he wanted us to be covering. And now he was hoping it would be covered, and here we are. So we're doing it for you, Devin. That's the only reason. I do have a couple short and sweet viewers. So somebody actually did go ahead and give this a 10 out of 10. You know how we say, like, hey, every movie is somebody's favorite movie.
This is the one?
It sure is.
This is the 10 out of 10 that exists on IMDb.
This is the guy.
It's just proving our point.
This is Viva Los Biodome from Faces in 1998. They still haven't gotten another written 10 out of 10. Biodome is the best movie ever made. I've seen this movie for about 30 times, and it is still funny. If you like the humor of Pauly Shore, then you have to see this one. Thank you.
More power to him, man.
You know,
how many people found that helpful?
0 out of 6.
It's not even what he didn't even like his own. He didn't even like his own.
He didn't even give himself a thumbs up. So
this is great. This is why we do this.
But here's a 2 out of 10. Last one for you guys. This was on November 11th, 1998 as well. M just said, it's entitled Biodumb.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I hate it so much. It says, no comment. And then,
That's it?
but then proceeded to comment.
Oh, okay.
Biodome is recommended for sissies who worship Pauly Shore's teachings of illicit ways. By now, his contract should be expiring.
Nope. No, it's not.
No, Pauly Shore's coming back, baby.
Fuck yeah.
He's coming back, and let's go. So that's
All
it,
right.
guys.
Well, boys, we've spent almost 4 years trying to make the world a better place by doing this podcast. It's not always perfect. Sometimes I feel like quitting, but I know how important our job is. And plus, I've never quit anything in my entire life except Chinese calligraphy, my thesis, Tuna and You, the early years, kangaroo anatomy, toe photography, booger sculpture, masturbation. Maybe not masturbation, but give me a break. It's the only thing I'm good at.
You are really good at that.
So come on. Who's a quitter? Here we go. So scene 1, Bud McIntosh and Doyle Johnson live together in Arizona. Their girlfriends Jen and Monique dump them after they find out they faked an injury to get out of saving the environment with them. The girls trick Bud and Doyle into going to Vasquez Lake, more like Vasquez Crap Hole. Yeah. On the way home, Doyle has to pee, so they pull over to Biodome where Dr. Noah Faulkner and his team are having a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Can we real quick... We like to talk about soundtracks, and actually we'll get into it later. I actually don't mind this soundtrack in general. There's some bangers later on.
I don't mind it.
But this fucking intro song, this is such a bad era for music, in my opinion. This late 90s where like, you know, I think this happened in American Pie a little bit too, where there's just this... Like, yeah, punk's cool now. Yeah.
Guys, we're going to the beach. Gang.
But see, I love Blink-182, and that does something different to me. Yeah. But this weird version of, like, punk, like cool punk, but it's kind of overly produced, but it's not produced well.
It's like...
This song's so bad at the beginning. Maybe it's the noises they're adding into it for the stupid... Do we like this intro? This is kind of... It was probably kind of cutting edge when it came out. Like, wow, cool.
It's a little creative. I'll give it that. But it's like... I'm siding with what you're saying. Is like the edgy's 90s teen comedy has to have the punk rock song intro, you know? And it's like they're kind of aping Mallrats a little bit. I don't know what came first or what, but I like that about Mallrats. I don't like it about Biodome.
Yep.
Yeah, it just seems, I don't know, it seems like they couldn't afford a certain band that they had in mind, and they're like, well, what can we get?
Well, my friend's got a band.
And, oh, nice. Well, do you think he'd come in?
Do they have their own studio in their basement with a 4-track? Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Cool.
Fantastic.
But here's how bad it is. I remember, like, a lot of times you'll be like, oh, I used to love this, but now I don't. That's the whole point of the show. I never liked this. I would always skip over this. Even as a kid in 96, 97, it's like, yeah, get to the beginning. Get to where we see Bud and Doyle, you know, like, because it's just so bad.
Yeah.
And just annoying.
It's like ska without the ska. And like, I don't know.
It's punk without the punk.
It's without the punk.
Boring.
It's annoying, Mike?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
Oh, well, I said it's just the opening song. That's all I was talking about.
It's just a precursor to the rest of the film for Mike.
Oh, wow.
But there's one cool thing in here is that there's a split diopter shot with the Mahi Mahi and Pauly Shore and Joey Lauren Adams. I don't know why it's here, but they did do it.
Free Mahi Mahi, free Mahi Mahi.
If you will.
If you will.
I don't know. Like, let's talk a little bit about Stephan Baldwin.
Okay.
Because I struggle a little bit, and I always have. At times, Stephan Baldwin is so great in this movie. And then at times, I'm just like, I wish it was someone else.
It's because he's trying to be Pauly Shore
100%.
In those moments that I don't like him.
Yes.
And I'm like, you could just be a fun, crazy Stephan Baldwin and not do that. You not be Pauly Shore. You don't have to be Pauly Shore.
You already got your puka shell necklace. Yeah. You already got your weird dreadlocks that you won a stinker award for worst haircut of the year. I mean, just be yourself, man.
Yeah.
I agree. The moments he
in
was
the worst
himself,
way possible.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
The moments he was himself, I agree. Like I do like him in this, but yeah, you're right. He is just kind of copying the Weasel, you know, and there's really only one Weasel.
There's only one Weasel.
There should only be one Weasel. And it's, dude, especially in this movie, I don't know. Like, I love Pauly Shore and Son-in-Law.
Yes.
I love Pauly Shore and Encino Man, but I cannot stand these two, dude. Like,
really,
there's 3 or 4 moments where I'm like, yeah, I like these guys. This is hard for me.
Do you think it's their chemistry, maybe, or is it just that it's two of kind of the same person?
I think they're fine together. And
I think it's that.
I will say that I do think that I don't blame Stephan Baldwin for doing this, but it's like, you know, this is Pauly Shore's movie, and so like if he's going to be like another version of Pauly Shore or the Weasel, fine, because he's trying to, like, you know, I bet he's probably like, I want to buy into this culture, I want to buy into his audience and be this way with him. It really does not work for me at all. Like I don't find any of this movie funny.
It's really hard, like, because it took me watching it into my second or like almost into my third. Yeah, I watched it 3 times, guys.
Better man than I am, bro.
of like letting myself, of like surrendering to the movie.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, like rather than sitting there in the metaphorical, like arms crossed kind of fashion, it's just like, okay, let it happen. Let's just deal with it. And watching it happen on screen, and okay, I find this funny. Okay, this is kind of funny. But there's points where it just insists upon itself to the nth degree, man. And so I get what you're saying, because you're right, man. I wanted to say that too. Like we've praised Pauly Shore on this show, so many times. This is a really hard one to do, because honestly, at this point in kind of his career is where I feel like he kind of starts phoning it in.
Yes, thank you for saying that, because in my argument for when we had this on trial, I was saying I think he's kind of phoning it in, and maybe it's not him per se. Maybe it's I think anyway, the script and what they threw out.
Yeah,
because I think they had this plot and they had the lines for like these serious actors like William Atherton and stuff like that. But like when it came to them just hanging out and doing them, I think they just kind of let them go. And I don't think that was the right move at all, because it is just them. It feels to me like they're just kind of saying, like, waiting for cut.
Yeah.
And like,
that's a great way to put it. That's
like they're just at the end of like, okay, did you get it? Like they're just about there.
Yeah.
But they were waiting for cut, and then it happened, but then they should have cut that. They could have cut that scene, because it's not their chemistry. Their chemistry together is actually very good. But Mike, you said it earlier, it's the fact that they're basically kind of trying to be the same person.
Yeah.
And so that is what I think bugs me the most. But then beyond that, you can tell like when they probably could have, should have, would have done another take.
Yeah.
With Pauly Shore laughing at Stephan Baldwin.
Yep.
You can tell he's laughing genuinely at Stephan Baldwin, and vice versa at some points. And you're like, that should have been another take.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's moments of him like truly breaking.
Oh, 100% actually breaking.
Yeah.
But it's like, but Pauly Shore can't break character because he's Pauly Shore.
Yes.
So it's just him just laughing.
And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like I feel so bad that like Pauly Shore was done this way, because Pauly Shore was truly one of a kind, and like he made so many people laugh.
Yeah.
So many people laughed for those, 5, 6, 7 years where he was Encino Man, Son-in-Law, Army Now, Jury Duty, Biodome, like in that order, including MTV everywhere in the middle of that. And everybody just kept asking more, give us the Weasel, give us. And so he did, because that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
And then we all fucking turned on him because we're like, God, Pauly Shore, he's just doing the same thing. We asked for it, and so he gave it to us, but he just didn't have the right people like in this movie helping him out, because this was pretty much the end. Like Biodome tanks, Jury Duty and Biodome fucking tank, and then he's pretty much gone until 2003. Pauly Shore is dead. I mean, he's pretty much gone at this point because of this movie, and that's what really makes me hang on to this movie a little bit, because like it sucks that this was the one that like we all loved it, but just critically people couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And it's just not, we loved it because we loved Pauly Shore, and we loved just the guy that he was and the carefree attitude, and like, man, I want to be him.
Even he's admitted too, like there's only so much of like one sort of shtick that people can take, and like when you're on it, you're on it, and ride that to the fucking death of it, you know. But then there is the death of it, and people aren't going to see it anymore.
It's rough.
Yeah, and it's just the unfortunate thing of we were probably asking for it, and there's the classic saying of always leave them wanting more, you know. And unfortunately, I think you're right, Mike. I think Biodome was just the one too many. I think it was just the one too many. I think if it would have ended at Jury Duty or he
could have moved on to something different. And that's why I do truly hope. Pauly was just on Bertcast, actually.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It was a great conversation, and I do truly. I follow Bert's sentiment that we are all rooting for him to have his moment.
100%.
And I hope it's in this Richard Simmons thing. Like, I hope that this becomes his moment.
I've heard that it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's not even fully funded or anything. They only filmed a little bit and kind of wrote a little script, but it's apparently getting shopped out there, and like he deserves a Brendan Fraser moment.
Yeah.
Like he really does, because like he did so much for us that it's easy to look back on and be like, yeah, this movie sucks, which whatever. But like I'm rooting for the man, Pauly Shore, like to make a comeback and show us his chops, because I think he has it.
Oh, 100%.
There was that joke that Jimmy Kimmel, the unfunny Jimmy Kimmel, had in the Oscars when Kyuhei Kwan and Brendan Fraser. He's
heard that.
Like, I'm sure you guys are all excited. I'm sure there's someone out there like Pauly Shore who's not excited or whatever. And he's like, and Pauly Shore commented on it like on Twitter or something like that. He's like, "What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, bro?"
Like some things aren't funny, and that wasn't funny, and it isn't.
No,
that's fucking shitty.
Yeah. I want that Pauly Shore resurgence. You know, I want that to happen. You want it so bad. And he's already been doing great things, actually, even in the stand-up world again, coming back around and making good appearances and really, really getting on that cycle again. You know? So it's been awesome.
But there are moments that, I mean, I still do laugh a lot at some of their chemistry moments, like when they actually get out of the house, like the whole bit in the house. It's like, it's kind of whatever.
That's kind of what we talked all over it.
Yeah, we were just like, who cares? It's really not that funny. I mean, whatever. But then when they like get in the car, then and they are heading and they get to Vasquez Lake, and then they actually are heading into the mall. Like some of these moments, I'm like, yeah, dude. When he's talking about, yep, that's for sure. You know, like we got great girls. Yep, that's for sure. The biodome, does that mean it goes both ways? Still made me laugh.
Yeah, that's
like still fucking made me laugh. Even when they get into the malls and they're talking about toilet trees. Like that still like makes me laugh. Toilet trees. Find some toilet trees, man. But then, excuse me, you're to those moments where it just then it doesn't work. You know?
And then like the fact that they're they should just be gay. Like first of all, like they really should, because they're trying to get out of hanging out with their girlfriends, injuring each other. Like beating the shit out of each other so they can get out of hanging out. Their
girlfriends are hot and awesome.
Yeah,
and they don't want to hang out with them.
Yeah, this is a really strange one. I'll be honest with you guys. You got Joey Lawrence Adams that you're just like
peak Joey Lawrence Adams.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, she looks like she dresses. She's in this like dressing like some sort of like strange '90s fantasy like Spencer's Gifts kind of thing.
That was how they dressed
but it
back
was
then.
In a good way, you know. Like
I went to Gadzooks.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, okay, great, awesome,
love it.
But then at the same time, I also think about like what's transpired to get to the point that they don't want to keep doing this with their girlfriends, that they have drugged them to like how many things that it's been like just turned out to be bullshit.
I don't want to go to another fucking hangout on the campus where a guy's playing guitar.
We're going to the slug farm so that way we can, because there's been people pouring salt on like slugs and stuff.
But of course, in the middle, we're going to do back rubs.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to rub another guy's shoulders. I'll rub Doyle's, but I'm not going to rub that guy's.
I'm just trying, you know what I'm trying to do, girlfriend Joey Lawrence Adams, is...
Did I say Lawrence or
Monique?
Sorry, Monique.
You know what I'm trying to do is trying to make this fun, because this, whatever we do, sucks all of the time. And if we do some back rubs, I'm going to fucking give some people some noogies. I'm going to, you know, say some weird shit.
Yep.
I totally get it.
I'm not bringing my big gulp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bladder buster.
My bladder buster. Okay.
Free refills with proof of purchase.
And by the way, I swear to God, if that stupid guitar duo, Tenacious D, is still there,
They're not going anywhere.
Again.
They're not going anywhere.
It's before they were good. Oh, I just wish they'd give us. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know that those guys. I love the idea of Tenacious D like showing up because it's like guaranteed audience to go to these like stupid functions.
Of course,
that's why they show up.
They're playing for exposure.
Yeah,
of course.
They're trying to make it fun too. Like Jack Black's like flipping his guitar around.
Okay, we just say some freaking trees.
There's an awareness thing. Let's go. We'll play guitar. It's like we'll be those guys.
Well, if you're speaking about Monique looking good, I'll tell you one person. Like, if we have a new category of worst dressed person in a movie, It's Dr. Noah Faulkner.
Oh, yeah.
When they actually get there and they got those weird ass space suits on and he's got a scarf.
The scarf thing.
That doesn't do it for me.
No.
And it's weird. It's very unflattering. It's kind of riding up his ass crack too, and they show him from behind. They did not get fitted for those wardrobes.
Jim, he's a Vulcan.
His hair and makeup is pretty rough with it. That hair is also pretty punchable. Let's be honest. I'm not putting it down.
Okay.
Not yet.
But then, like, they get in here and like there's the only 2 women there, and they're not even inside yet. They're not even inside yet. Okay, never mind. Well, I have notes. All my notes are done.
Don't worry. I have. I want to hit this.
Hit it. If we were on a train to go punch a face, I'm on board.
That's what I'm talking about.
So this is a unique punchable face for me. I never realized how punchable it was until I actually had the captions on in this one. I always never liked this person, but then I actually read what was being said. I want to punch the lady when the fireworks go off. When she goes, over there on the grassy knoll, assassins. She says, over there on the grassy knoll, assassins. Now, she's going to take the punch for me for the writers.
Okay.
Because why are we even writing this in there? And then the cop goes, holy Kennedy. It's like, this isn't even funny. We didn't even get these jokes as kids.
No.
Why are you writing? I'm not watching this with my dad who's like, like my dad's not even watching this.
Well, and even
what
then,
are these jokes?
It's still
he has respect for himself.
And even then he would have been like, Kennedy jokes. Still too soon. You know what I mean? It's just
greatest president we ever had.
Yeah.
You can picture that lady's face, right? She's going, like she's getting jacked.
Dude, I think that's great. I think it's a solid, mostly because you are kind of pushing it off towards the writers themselves.
Yeah, but she's taking it.
But she deserves it because she was there and said it. I think my punchable face though is Russell.
Which one's that?
Russell is like Monique's like stepdad.
Dude, Russell's the best, man. I'm not punching Russell.
Dude, no, Russell, like you hear it, you want me so bad.
That's really gross.
It's super creepy. Like he's sitting there and like, by the way, okay, it is funny because of course this is the reaction we would all have. It's like there's beer cans here, there's empty beer cans here.
Beer cans in the kitchen, there's beer cans in the sink, there's beer cans in the bedroom.
So
do you know what that means?
We're out of beer.
That's funny.
It's like, and then he's talking about how he's like, he's basically just sitting on the couch pissing himself in Depends. I'm out of Depends.
He goes, I hurt my bladder rollerblading.
Rollerblading.
You haven't rollerbladed a day in your life.
Yeah.
No, he made the mistake of only wearing wrist guards because they look cool.
Yeah.
He didn't put any other pads on.
He didn't put on knee
very
guards.
90s.
Yeah. And by the way, he's also a pizza delivery guy. Mm-hmm. So Russell is like pinnacle 90s male fantasy, I guess.
How'd you get a job? Fucking President Clinton.
Fucking
You
president.
had sex with President Clinton? Still funny to me. Let's move on to scene 2.
I need a punchable face.
Oh, shit.
That's right.
Jesus.
The one guy that like the both of them, they're like, we were just trying to get laid. The longer hair guy.
Yes, thank you.
He's in Never Been Kissed, and I want to punch him.
Does he have that
future.
same haircut?
No, but he's like the popular guy in Never Been Kissed. He's like the mysterious. Like I can't wait till we do that movie because I can't wait to fuck him, roast him.
You can't hardly wait.
Yes. Yeah.
Treasure that place, you phonies.
That guy?
His whole career. I want to punch.
Yeah.
He says, I'd strangle a dolphin to get in her pants. He says that under his breath, and I'm like, yeah, I mean...
Well,
I can't lie.
Who didn't think that at one point?
Dolphins don't really have necks, but I mean, I'll try.
I'll do what
That
I got.
is my
I'll do what I can.
Neanderthal person coming out, but I have it in me.
Yeah.
Good call, Sean. Let's go on to scene 2. So, mistaking the biodome for a mall, Bud and Doyle go inside to use the bathroom and are sealed in along with the scientist. Dr. Leakey demands their removal, but Dr. Faulkner refuses. So, Bud and Doyle are asked to stay. They slowly begin to evoke chaos in the biodome, and eventually they're locked in a closet.
So they get inside this, what they think is a mall, and they're like locked in, and they kind of get briefed on what it actually is. And there's the 2 women inside, obviously, and they immediately start hitting on him. But like they try and hit on the hottest women alive for like especially for where they are. Like these 2 men just shared and ate a bug together.
Yes. In public. In front of everyone.
In front of them.
And it still kind of works.
I don't get it.
No, I don't understand what is attractive about these two guys, but then at the same time, that's not my expertise per se. So I've seen a lot of major douchebags get plenty of women. So I don't know.
I don't call these guys douchebags.
I'm not saying that these guys are douchebags. I'm just saying that
gross.
Yeah, you're just.
It's the carefree attitude.
Well, you know what it is? It's that kid.
They're fun.
We all had him in the gym class. The kid who ate the box elder bugs.
Yeah.
He went on in the future to get laid.
Oh, yeah. At some point, a woman was like, yep.
Yep.
Or male was like, yep.
You think about that.
And you said, cool.
That's fucking crazy.
In the end, it all goes back to like survival, guys. And it's just like they want a man who can protect them from anything. And someone who's willing to eat bugs could probably protect you from a lot of shit.
It's true.
So I guess it makes a good point. But
I hoped one day, AJ, when I was younger and I was not like sexually experienced, I hoped one day that like I would get older and I would rewatch this movie and I would get it. What is, if you were yogurt, would you be fruit at the bottom or stirred mean? Like sexually? What does that mean? If you were yogurt, would you be fruit at the bottom or stirred?
Or stirred.
What sexually does that mean about you as a person?
What could it mean?
Were you fruit at the bottom or were you
If
stirred?
you were yogurt, are you fruit at the bottom or stirred?
So some yogurts have fruit at the bottom, some yogurts don't, right? Is that what I'm assuming that's what they're getting at?
Yes. But
So
what
if
does
you
that
have-
mean to you as a person?
So if you have fruit at the bottom,
Let's take this back for a second.
so basically you're like pretty much unpulped or pulped if you have fruit at the bottom.
Yes. So what are some of the other analogies though that they use at this point in time? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Yeah,
like that
right?
kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's a
Are
it's
you
like a come
are
on
you
joke.
tired?
Come on joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come on them.
You come on them. Yeah. later.
Wait, help me out.
It's so you can come on them later.
So
No, you're good.
Yes.
No, that's it.
Like, you know what? Yeah, that's what you. That's what,
pickup line.
No, you
No,
know,
guys,
guys. I have no
It's
idea
a
what you're
come
talking
on
about now.
no, Mike knew exactly what he was saying when he said a come on joke.
pickup line.
Yeah. It's a joke you say so you can come on them later. That's exactly it, Mike. Thank you. So, but yeah, I think fruit at the bottom just means. I think it just means to what you're into. I think if you've had sex recently.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
your
freaky
fruit's all
enough?
stirred up inside.
Are you freaky enough to get fruit in the bottom of your yogurt?
I'm
or
not satisfied with this.
Or
But
are you kind of plain? Are you just kind of? I just want the yogurt.
Has your insides been stirred up?
okay.
Or that.
I'm glad I brought it up.
I do like.
Hey, let us know. In fact, you know what? Time
Mike
out.
did
I'm gonna
bring
make,
up the come on joke.
This
so.
will be a poll. This will be a poll on Spotify. You go to Spotify. There will be a poll right there. You tell us what that means. We'll give you a couple answers.
Yeah. Cool. William Atherton in this, he's doing his fucking damnedest, dude. I really like that he has a line. He's like, you may recognize me from television. You're like, are you the guy with the spray on hair? No.
Who are these guys? We're the Biodome 5.
We're the Biodome 5.
He's pretty good. What do you guys think about him?
Well, I love
Besides
him.
his hair and
And
everything.
honestly, one of my favorite things that is honestly said that like lingers in my brain to this day was when he's like, what are you so smart? You some kind of rocket scientist? Yes. Oh, sorry.
He's like, you guys aren't one
so
of those
funny to me.
freaky clans, are you? No. Damn it.
He goes, you guys aren't one of those freaky cults, are you? Who dance naked and you want us to take off our clothes and feed us special punts? No. Damn, we're so close.
So close, man.
Like, okay, so moments like that,
Yes.
that's what we needed more. Like when it's just them two fucking off.
Yes.
I don't like the movie. When it's them two interacting with like actual actors,
It works well. Like
think
with
it's really- I
Romulus,
think
when
it
they're
works
talking to
really well.
Romulus, like I
Yeah.
freaking love it.
Yeah.
Even those little moments where Pauly Shore he can pull through in moments, like when he's like, "Daddy, look at the little thing." Ah, my sciatic.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like-
I'm sad.
And I
Which,
don't-
by
I
the
don't
way, is
mean
up
to
your
say-
up your butt and
yeah,
your thigh.
I don't mean to say actual actors is a joke. Of
course.
Obviously, we love Pauly Shore, but like it is those are the moments where I'm like, oh, there's a script. There it is.
Yeah.
Nope,
We found
no,
it.
lost it. I'll
Yeah.
tell you one thing I do appreciate about this movie, though. 16 minutes to the dot, we have our full premise of this movie. They are locked in the dome and they're being asked to stay. 16 minutes in.
Not bad.
Like, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, in so many things, it takes so long to get into it, but this is just like,
Yeah.
Biodome.
Can we-
You knew it was going to
That's a good
happen.
point.
They're in the boat. They're in the dome.
Can we just? I just want to say this. we know, okay, the people that built this place, like Dr. Leakey.
Dr. Leakey.
Like,
Is that Henry Gibson?
yes.
Okay.
Like
we'll get to
Dr.
him.
Faulkner. Like almost everybody. There are exits around this place. Hence, later on, we see a key. There's places to get out, right? Why not just be like, why not just anyone could have, like, instead of making a big deal out of like who these two guys are, all of a sudden you just be like, yeah, we're going to sneak these guys out because we've literally been locked in here for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
They believe in the science of this.
8 minutes and 46 seconds.
They believe in the science of this.
Fuck the science
It will
for 8
literally-
minutes.
The computer will start talking to him and be like, homeostasis is at 92.7%.
And how long did it take Doyle and Bud, right?
Dude, it took him a long time.
I mean, I'm just saying, if it's only at 92 and they open up the door for a sec,
Okay.
they could bring it back up.
Well, but
You pop that door open, you close them out, like, you're fine.
But they're like, nothing comes in, nothing goes out, not even air. And as they're in that scene, there's just this huge air gap in the floor of that door. If you notice that. They didn't think anything on this at all. Like, who cares?
And that's what's funny. I get it, and I understand like all the science and everything we've been working towards and everything going into this. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Why don't you just restart the clock? How about that? We'll and
Don't tell Dr. Leakey.
Like, we'll open the door. The homeostasis will drop to 99.8. We'll close it back up, and it will just watch it tick back up, just like your air conditioning when you open the door on left it open on accident.
Yep.
Don't worry, the homeostasis air conditioning will just fix itself because we just closed it back up, and everything will be better. Movie's over.
We'll get a couple more tipatilia to go on the rice. We'll be fine.
That's it.
it is also not like crazy to think about like why these guys they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because of the PR.
Yep.
Right.
And Henry Gibson and the you know the prestige of this biodome, you know, is like kind of like politics. It's like, well, they're surprised they were here all along, and they are our star people about this.
Chaos in the
Yeah,
environment, but we have work to do.
Chaos
work
theory.
to do.
Work to do. By the way, I just wanted to make I needed to say this. Every single time, I don't know if you guys remember when Cartel did the Band in a Bubble, all I could ever think about was like Cartel, the band, going into the Biodome and just trying to record an album, but then Bud and Doyle are in there just causing problems.
Be awesome.
And I'm like, why didn't this get made into a movie? That would be so much better. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Like, what the... That's all I could think of was just Biodome when I heard about Cartel going to do this Band in a Bubble thing. And I wanted it to be that. And I wanted, since they could never top their previous album, I just wanted Bud and Doyle to destroy it. So that was it. So I just wanted that to be known, guys.
Speaking of music, we have to have our mandatory late 90s I Want Candy montage.
Have to do it.
You have to, and they you know, it's part of like the Actors Guild or whatever. Like if you made a movie in the 90s, you have to put I Want Candy.
Yeah. Did you do you happen to have like a dress up scene in this movie?
Yep.
Oh, you do.
That's where we'll do it.
No, we don't. We don't.
We don't.
We don't have a
we
dress-
we had Right Said Fred.
You have to use one
ready
of the
to go
two.
for you.
Can
so.
you write a I Want Candy montage?
It's really not part of the story.
Well, I mean, they don't really get candy. Well, they want to have sex.
Oh.
Could candy be a metaphor
Cool.
for sex?
or pot.
Yeah.
I think kids on the street are calling pot
Purple
candy
Sticky
now.
Punch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do I Want Candy over
Essentially like kind of like a sexual assault sort of thing.
let's do it like over this like
Cool.
this like sexual assault scene.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
We'll teach kind of young, you know, like Woodstock's around the corner here, 99. We'll
Yeah.
teach a bunch of young white males that it's just totally okay.
Just to go into random girls' beds.
yeah.
Yep.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
So
and they're like kind of charmed by it.
yeah, they like at first they say no.
I want candy.
You get out. No. Stop.
But I'm owed this.
We're the same age and we're locked in here for a year.
And
We
we'll-
should just do it.
Don't worry, we'll blame it on Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
But they do make up for it by one of my favorite songs of all time, We Care a Lot by Faith No More. I don't know why I love that
There's
song.
something
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
Dude, there's something about that song that I just love so much. And the fact that they at least followed up with that.
It's heavy.
Dude,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
Yeah.
It's like a better version of Fieldy playing the bass.
Yeah.
Like he's hitting it, but he's like actually, it's not just like strings.
Oh, hot take.
Well,
Yeah, hot take.
I wanted to be a musician
Now's
because
a
I could
good
do
time
this.
to talk about corn. That's Spider-Man. Black Sabbath wrote Iron Man.
One of the lines that stuck out to me and my brother, like, and we still say it to each other to this day. He gets Romulus pissed, like in the board meeting or whatever. He's like, Simeon,
Dick kick. See, and those are the moments where Stephen Baldwin, sometimes you're like, yes,
Yeah.
dude.
Just shine.
just take on your own character. Yeah.
Like when he did when the cops hassling him outside and he's like, sorry, yes, sir, bacon boy. And you're like, come on, dude.
That's not what I want.
That's not what I want. I want you to be like, I want you to be reading about Purple Sticky Punch and making a filter. Like,
Yeah.
making a filter. Making a filter. That's really funny to me, and it seems genuine. But I don't know.
Like they just filmed him,
They
Stephen
did.
Baldwin, and he was just doing that. They're like, just put a camera on him right now.
Dude, hey,
this is hilarious.
Paulie's peeing right now. Just make him be himself real quick.
It's basically like filming monkeys on like National Geographic. Just put the camera on him. Just like watch him. It's gonna be great.
And they even do that. I really wanted to figure out if there was a reasoning behind it, but I don't think they did. I think, again, this is the script of just nobody knew what to do. They do the sleepover. They go back in time to like sniffing the farts. Oh, yeah. And he's totally stony. Like Pauly Shore's character is
Stoney.
basically,
yeah.
he's talking like stony in this. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like, maybe it was, no, never mind. Like they just wanted him to just do some jokes from Encino Man.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's where it would have been nice to have somebody just be like, no, how about we don't even need the scene, like
They really
or
didn't.
just be yourself.
Did they really like? What was the reasoning for that scene?
Because
I guess?
keep on cruising, because they were locked in the room and he couldn't sleep. He's like, think back to the sleepovers we used to have.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah, and then
it was just a comfort scene,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Seeing Stephen Baldwin in like that outfit,
goth outfit.
is like. It was very creepy to me as a
Yes.
kid. It really creeped me out because he had the collar on, like with like and like Pauly Shore's like stroking like the collar. Like, come on, man! It's like this
Keep on
is
cruising,
weird.
Keep on cruising.
This is so weird.
But this is why this show exists, humanizing the goons here. Like you used to be so mad at the Biodome 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why are you wheezing
so
on that
uptight.
gig, man? No, these fuckers are a nightmare. There's millions
Yeah.
of dollars that were sunk into this for science, for saving the planet. And these guys just were so dumb that they wandered in there, and now all they're doing is just destroying everything. And we're supposed to love them. We're like, yeah, let them do what they want.
By the way, they are taking all the publicity
Yeah.
for this entire thing now. There's no focus on what's actually happening. Everyone only cares about like what Bud and Doyle are up to. Action figures and T-shirts and merch, all this different stuff. The 900 line that they want to do. And you're just like Leakey is trying to make the best of this, but in the end, it's taking all the attention away from all the important work that's going on in this biodome. Like
They're sharing
this is
toothbrushes?
This is so messed up. Like they have been. I think they said at some point they've all been working like years
Yes.
for this to
Within
lock
8 minutes,
down.
the whole thing is in chaos.
And it's already diminishing their the environment.
Isn't planet Earth chaos sometimes?
yeah, you're right, man.
Wow,
But it all equals itself out in the end, right?
I never thought of it that way, Sean. Yeah.
I mean, you need to destroy something beautiful in order to appreciate it, or whatever the fuck Tyler Durden says.
Ooh, here's a prop.
I battled with this one, but I
have
think.
it.
Don't do it.
Don't do this.
Then fine, go ahead.
No.
Go
I
ahead.
want to hear.
Okay, then I'm going to avoid what I was going to say because I think you guys want it, so I'm going to say something different. I want the Mahi Mahi on our wall.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That'd be sick.
I want it right up there. Free
Bud and
Mahi
Doyle,
Mahi.
Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
That's what I was going to say, but I let you have it.
Oh.
Is that what you were going to say?
No, I think
cool.
I think I want Bud's vest that just has the name tag meat on it.
Well, then at the end it says veg. Did you notice that?
I did not.
At the end of the movie it says veg on it. No shit. Yes.
because of the environment.
Because he's saving the environment. Because
man.
guys, meat is murder.
I
You're
want.
actively eating and killing plants, but then
I mean, the biggest production of methane gas comes from cows raised for your meat. This is just for TikTok. I'm hoping we can get a lot of hate on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your cows. And stuff.
Biodome sucks and meat is murder.
Me is murder.
But Pauly Shore deserves an Oscar some point in his life.
Yes.
Controversial takes.
Heyo. Hot takes.
Yeah. It's called Hot Takes.
Mike's
So that's
hot
the only
takes.
reason you guys even do a podcast. It's just for the clicks and the clout.
Yeah.
I like the way you said that.
Like the
Clicks and the clout.
It's kind of like a Harry Carey thing going on.
All right, let's move on to scene 3. So Bud and Doyle escape and find a secret stash of junk food and experiment with laughing gas. The two are then banished to the desert environment section where they eventually find a door to unlock. They learn from a pizza guy that Jen and Monique are at an environmental party with other men, so they decide to throw a huge party inside Biodome. It is pure chaos.
Well, speaking of like them taking up like all of the PR and everything like that, and like switching the focus to them because they're hip and cool, you know. It would be like the public to want to make this a reality show because they're like, there's two girls inside too, and then, but they have girlfriends, you know. I thought that was kind of clever, where you know that is what would probably happen if something like this were to happen.
Let's make it a drama. It's like basically like, ooh, Big Brother. Let's do that.
It's like pre-Survivor and Big Brother.
Yeah, 100%.
Some sort of MTV show. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the way it feels like. Now, I think this is the point, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. That, or I guess it was a little bit before this, but like Petra is like hardcore flirting with Bud with that carrot.
A carrot is a
Yeah.
miracle, Bud.
You should have seen what she was doing with the carrot.
Kylie Minogue.
Yeah. But so that's the point where I'm like, wait, so who's into who? Are they into this or are they not?
Is
Like,
she just fucking with him
Yeah,
because she knows he's just a guy and an animal?
yeah, is she just like playing this up? So that's where I started to kind of get confused on this, I guess.
She's very flattered by him. Like, look, I can lick my own back. And she's like,
Yeah. Hey, follow my lead. And then I like that he holds up like an entire. Oh, maybe that should have been my prop. The entire thing of like juice, and they like juice their entire fruit like harvest into one big fucking thing of juice.
Taking a bath in the natural rainwater
So
machine.
that's where all our crops went.
And then, okay. When this time, the first time watching this back, they're in the natural rain generator thing. And then they say that to him. It's like, you're in the like natural rain, like rainforest rain generator. And then Bud's just like, and I actually got pissed.
Adult AJ's like, how dare you?
It's like, what an asshole. Like,
A little acid rain.
acid rain.
Isn't it funny? Like they actively get enjoyment out of annoying people.
Humanize the goons,
Dude, they're like, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I would have been a goon in this movie because like watching that happen, I would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like, you're the worst people on earth.
Well, and
literally my earth right now.
Yeah, exactly. When they send him out to the desert, too, I know it's a little later, but when they send him out to the desert too, like I imagine interviews with them was like, yeah, you guys got rid of them. Well, you know, we're just gonna let nature take its course because
No, we need to talk about this, Sean. I didn't even think about that. They were just going to die, right?
yeah,
I mean, it's a desert.
This is
closed.
pre-cameras. There's no cameras in this place. They're like, yeah, well, yeah, they just died.
yeah.
Oh my God, they were going to kill them.
They were so dumb. They wandered off into the desert and they couldn't get the ladder back down, and we couldn't hear them. I'm
A
sorry.
year. Think of this. A year passes, right? And then people go in. They're like, "Yeah, what a success, guys! This was great.
Where's
we
Bud Doyle?
we look at how many of these lipofedrian things that we breeded,
Yep.
you know, and we've got all these butterflies, and we lived, we survived, we
We can now
flourished.
survive on Mars.
Right. We can do this now. Matt Damon has a purpose. And so here we go. And then like I just imagine like workers going in and being like, yeah, cool. Well, it's really exciting stuff. You know, I think they're going to try and do this. Oh my God, who's that? And it's just two dead bodies. Just in
With
the
each
desert.
other's foot in their mouths.
Each other's foot. And like, and one's got like an iguana gripped in his palm with a bite out of it or something.
Well, keep in mind that sign said 341 days left when they were banished. They did that all in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean,
They caused enough chaos in 2 weeks to be like, yeah, they almost the entire year's left for them to die in a desert.
Yeah. They're not going to make it out of this alive if they didn't find that little key.
The snack scene was one of my favorites as a
yeah.
kid. My brother's favorite, but it's still the line that gets me. He's like, "We have chippies, we have chippies, we have lots of stuff to eat."
I still say that on a daily basis. This is maybe my favorite, like Pauly Shore scene. Like he goes for it.
Yeah.
When he's going and he's laughing. I'm a duck-billed platypus.
Yes.
Like
His laugh
You
is
can
really
see his
great.
neck like straining.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
going hard. Is he actually on laughing gas in this
Dude.
scene? Because he might be.
It was it was finally it felt like finally we kind of got old Pauly Shore back, you know, like from that in that moment. And I think like Stephen Baldwin is playing off of it well. I think this is a really great moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Blue Velvet, Dennis Hopper. Oh, I'm slutty. Oh, I'm slutty.
Throwing spam in his thing. Like it's really funny.
It's very, very funny.
Throws the needle at him. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, like that laugh is incredible. Dude, you're absolutely right. And then even after that, like the ladder goes up. I can't see you. Like there are moments that just still make me laugh in this movie.
Genuinely, they do. Like they really do make me laugh. Like those are the little moments. And the problem is there are these other moments that are so over the top and outlandish that it's too much that I don't laugh at it, but then it just takes these small moments and small comments, and then these genuine moments like the snack eating stuff that really send me over the edge.
Yes.
And that's what I want more of.
Weirdly, those were like the first scenes they shot, and then over time they got bored or something.
Oh my gosh,
maybe.
you're right.
I don't know.
Even as you move on, they're in the desert and they're telling each other the stories.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen Baldwin is pretty good.
That's
in this
where
scene.
he's good when he tells
Yeah.
that little fluffy little Molotov cocktail.
Well,
Like that's
remember
when
that?
And then they get out and he's making the phone call to Roach. Hey, feed me the pig. Give me the drink. Give me the drink. Roach. We're like,
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah,
Man.
he's force feeding him, and yeah,
it just that's where maybe you're right, Sean. Maybe this was all like like some of the first scenes they filmed.
yeah.
like,
I don't know.
Some of the first, or maybe they finally just got into it.
Sure,
right?
sure,
They
sure.
figured it out, like the cadence and like the chemistry between these two characters.
Sure.
They finally kind of got it, you know. That's really what it feels like. What did you? Oh, when he's talking about like the squirrel and like getting set on fire, and then he's telling the story, and he's just going through it, and he's telling all the details, and he's just really, you remember that? Yeah.
That was you?
That was pretty crazy.
No, but that was pretty crazy.
That was pretty cool, right?
I love how that comes back later too.
I know.
That is really funny.
And then you can see Stephen Baldwin, or you can see like Doyle just like after he says the squirrel fire 79, he's just like.
And then we talked about him earlier, but you get Tenacious D here on the stage, which I remember was so funny because you're like, wow, it's Tenacious D. But keep in mind, this was before anyone knew who Tenacious D was.
Yeah.
Their first concert they ever played was the summer of '94, and they were nobodies. Jack Black hadn't even been in a movie yet.
Oh my gosh!
At this point, they didn't release their first album until 2001.
Wow.
High Fidelity was 2000, which was probably Jack Black's first big role. 4 years after this, he obviously did Airborne in '93, but nobody really knew who that was. But then he went on to Saving Silverman, Shallow Hal, Orange County, School of Rock, all in 3 years after that.
Off.
Wow.
So then it's easy to look back and be like, duh, Jack Black, Tenacious D. But this was just a complete.
They might as well have been unknown.
Somebody knew somebody, and that's
Correct.
why they were there.
And
It
they
had
got
to
a
be.
little bit of camera time.
Yeah.
They got a little bit cut back to them so he could save the freaking trees.
Just want to save some freaking trees.
I
like,
mean, it's undeniable.
Yes.
It's
Even then,
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I do think it's still funny to think that, like, I'm not going because I know those two guys are going to be there singing about fucking trees.
They always play our part.
Always at those freaking events.
I did notice this time that it was a little weird. Like, why did it take so long for the girls to get to the Biodome? The party's happening, right? Everybody finds out about the party. They go. They arrive, and the party's been raging.
Yeah.
And the two dudes are already in there, hammered. and they're like fencing with flowers or something like that. Why did it take them so long to get there? The girls.
Maybe they had some other environmental stops along the way.
Maybe they rode their bikes because they don't drive in cars.
Yeah,
true.
Saving the environment.
Yeah, they don't do that. They were probably picking up all the trash on the way to it by following all these people.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was probably what
It looks like a fun fucking party, though. Holy shit, this looks awesome.
Did you know the band? I had never heard of them. It was a punk band, like I guess decently famous, called Wax. Was the band that was actually playing. The only way I know them is the drummer in the band. His name is Loomis Fall. Loomis Fall was in all the Jackass movies. He was the guy with the weird like green beard. He never really said anything. Kind of a creepy looking guy. He was in a bunch of the Jackass movies. He
Not Rake.
No, not Rake.
Okay.
If you saw a photo of him right now, you'd be like, oh, that guy.
Okay. That's the guy.
He must have gotten in with the whole like CKY and Wax, and that's probably how they knew. He did a bunch of the music for the Jackass movies, I guess. Hamilton, or Loomis did. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
I did want to say just for some reason, just the same way as the snacks, going back to like them getting the pizza and stuff. For some reason, there's something so satisfying about this, watching it as like a kid at like a sleepover and doing the whole like having pizza and like Mountain Dew Code Red or like whatever crap soda you're drinking.
Bladderbusters, man.
Bladderbusters, bro. And like watching that and just being so like, you would just get so excited if you were that hungry.
Because they've been eating shit.
They've
like
just been eating
soy
bullshit this whole time. And then they finally just get a stack of pizzas and just how stoked you would be on that. And then and same with like a huge frecking soda or just drink.
You know how that tastes.
Yeah.
How that giant soda with a lot of ice
with
in it
a bunch
tastes.
of ice just.
Well, let's move on to scene 4. The next morning, the scientists prepare to exit after the dome is ruined, but Bud and Doyle intervene and demand they all stay and restore the dome to full health. The group begins to fix the dome together and build team camaraderie. Their efforts are working, much to the delight of all their fans outside the dome. Turns out Dr. Faulkner is still inside and has gone mad. I still think one of the funniest moments is when they're about to lock the dome back up. Count to 3, and Russell's like, wait. Russell pops out of nowhere. And he's like, wait. Yep. Good party. Good seeing you, Bob.
Bob. Yeah, he keeps calling him Bob.
Like, I kind of wish he would have gotten locked in there.
I know.
Would have been awesome.
It would have been a lot. It would have been great to have him like pop up like later on and like with Dr. Faulkner or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's a great joke for him to just be like, hey, I want out. I need to go.
3, 2, wait. And actually, that just reminds me, this might be going forward, but does that mean that the doctor, because at the very end, Dr. Faulkner opens the door with a key? Does that mean that he went through Doyle's poop?
Definitely.
He found it in his poop.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, cool.
There's that scene where I think they're like starting the party or like just getting done with it or whatever, and like Faulkner's like peeking through it and the zoom in on his eyes.
The zoom in.
I fucking love
evil.
it.
It's like, I think that is the moment that he goes insane.
Yeah.
I think
That's the one.
After all of this time that he has
He's
spent.
been pretty cool with everything.
You got to think about it. He's been fairly reasonable.
He has. Like I liked him a lot in
I
the
know.
beginning of this.
And like he's going in, he's trying to be excited. He's trying to sell this and be like, guys,
He's wearing
join
this
us.
weird
like,
outfit that doesn't fit him, and he's just like,
doesn't-
whatever.
But hey,
works
we
for
all
him.
got problems.
I have a scarf to make mine look different.
Yeah, it's just this is distinguishing.
I'm a genius.
To humanize the goons, man.
Yeah.
There's no reason that he should be excited. You ruin this, and now you think you're going to take all the credit and save
His
it?
career's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this
Might
is
as well blow it up.
fuck it.
Fuck it.
Like,
We do got to jump into the Jarrett lay off me, I'm starving, confused breakfast actor database.
I love that. That's so
I
good.
forgot who said that in the Discord. If you want to be a part of some fun contributions like that, join patreon.com/confused breakfast. This is an interesting one. 8 different people are all tied with three acting roles in movies we've done.
okay.
Joey Lauren Adams,
Joey Lauren Adams, yep.
Will Atherton.
Will Atherton,
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore, Henry Gibson.
You said 8 different people.
8 different
Wow.
people.
Henry
Okay.
Gibson.
Henry Gibson was in the Burbs and Blues Brothers. He was an Illinois Nazi in
Yeah.
the Blues Brothers.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Is the Russell guy?
Nope.
What other thing was he in though? Can someone please?
I
tell
could,
me?
dude. I looked it up and I did a quick thing, and I was like, he was in a bunch of stuff, but nothing that made me go, oh.
Is it The Mask?
Nope.
I will tell you because I know that. Who else has three?
Okay, so Henry Gibson. I told you. Kevin West plays T.C. Romulus. He was apparently in Super Mario Brothers and
I have
Gone in
one.
60 Seconds. Who you got?
Phil Lamar.
Nope.
That's 2 for him now.
It
then.
might be then. Brian Hayes Curry is the security guard at the beginning. That's like, whoa.
Oh, okay.
He was apparently a security guard in Armageddon and Con Air. But the one you'll forget about, because not many people remember, Jack Black. This is third. Airborne and Waterworld. Remember?
Oh,
he was the pilot in Waterworld.
yeah.
Real? Yes. Yep.
Damn.
Okay. All right.
So, sorry, one more. Rose McGowan.
Oh yeah, Scream.
Rose McGowan was their friend. She was also in Encino Man, apparently.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah, I can see that.
I still haven't found what it would be there, Sean. So
It might be something weird.
but I'm still going back just a little bit more for you. But you guys continue. I'll just blurt it out and interrupt whoever's talking.
Well, so I mean, like I do like the fact, like I like the structure of the script is fine. Like I like they come in and fuck it up. It's like chaos and everything, and then it's their turn to kind of make it back to homeostasis. You know, that is a good plot outline for a movie where 2 fuck ups go into a biodome and fuck it up. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
I mean,
like that flow is fine with me. I like that story arc a little bit.
But then this is also where I'm kind of like, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Like this might usually be when I'm like, okay, I'm done watching this movie.
yeah,
Usually by the time it gets to this, I guess this be the third act, right?
yeah.
Because you're right, it's a good story, but it's also just like, okay,
All the crazy stuff has already happened.
yeah, now
pretty much.
we're good people, and we're gonna dance to Safety Dance, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be a random little person that's still stuck inside. It's just like, okay, yeah, that's good.
I will say that this is kind of all the things, it is kind of where I start to like lose steam in the movie. I think that some of the stuff is funny, like the giant flypaper is funny, sure.
The horror,
the
pain.
the pain. I just like
I love sorry, TC Romulus when he's got all the paint
all
on
the
him.
shit all over
I
him.
should have left you in charge. He goes, thank you. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Romulus is awesome at this.
He is. He is very funny. Like when he's trying to explain the bugs and stuff, and he's just trying to say, he's like, I'm trying to get him made with pork. Yes. He's just trying to put it in terms that he'll understand.
Yes.
And then sure enough, they just come through, and them just throwing shit in this room turned me into another goon of just, God, I fucking hate you guys. I like looking at it from this perspective. I realize how much you must hate them if they're in your world.
Well, to go back to You Can Dance If You Want to, Safety Dance.
Safety Dance.
Like that's their form of torture. Is a banger like the Safety Dance?
Come on.
No, like it's gotta
Don't
be
buy it.
like dying bunnies or something. That's what they usually do. Well, then the two girls go into their room and they're like, "Oh, we have girlfriends. We can't do this." I do really like when they leave. They start humping the door.
Yeah,
That is pretty funny.
It's like, yeah, we did the right thing, but it still hurts down there.
it still hurts. Well, and so what was their plan all along then of them pursuing them? But then they decide that they're not going to do this.
Again, it's just
Yeah, no.
Let's just create sexual tension for no reason.
yeah.
I get it.
There's
Okay.
hot chicks here. We have to sexualize them somehow.
All scientist chicks are hot. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, duh. Obviously, beauty and brains. Hello. Perfect. Thank God.
Well, let's do the final scene then. So as Earth Day approaches, Bud and Doyle and the team successfully restore the dome. But on the night before the doors reopen, they find out that Faulkner is planning on blowing up the dome. They chase him, save the day. They exit as heroes, and Jen and Monique take them back. Did you catch that little thing? Like Dr. Leakey, the doors are about to open. They're preparing for it, and all these like SWAT team people are there. And I never caught this before. He goes, I don't expect any problems. I expect him to come right out. Like at this point, is he like ready to basically arrest them for what they did to the dome? The way he's having this conversation with the cops, it feels like a forgotten part of the plot or something, or maybe some of the script went away where he's like, we're gonna encourage them to keep going in the dome, but we want our whole investment has been taken. We're going to arrest them when they come out.
That's a good point because
Why do they need the cops there?
They don't know what's going on with Faulkner.
No.
Inside, it's almost like
it's
almost like we're led to believe that it's kind of about Faulkner, but at the same time, they would have no idea about this, right?
They have no clue.
A good point.
And so we aren't really sure why. That's actually, it's like this like misnomer thing of like misleading kind of an idea. Yeah, that's interesting.
And if it was intentional or not, I doubt. But like, yeah, you're right. It might be just something they missed, but it also kind of worked in their favor because Faulkner does turn.
But but wouldn't they also just be excited because they're paying attention to them balancing the homeostasis and like,
right.
This is amazing.
I mean,
this is even better than starting at 100% and keeping
true.
it at 100%. This is incredible.
We killed it, and now we're gonna revive it.
Yes.
Well,
you should be ecstatic about this.
Technically, actually, no, they shouldn't, because there's probably a bunch of shit that was supposed to happen in this biodome, and they're like, "Great, so you guys just took it back to when we started,
and now we have to do a whole
and
nother
now
year.
we've got to do a whole nother year of like all the progress
Balancing
we wanted
the
to
homos
make."
within the system.
It wasn't about maintaining; it was about growing, and it was
You're arrested.
It's like you took an entire year to get it back to square one. That's not what we wanted here. So. Yeah, it's kind of bullshit.
Yep.
You did waste all our millions of dollars in time and years of investment. So, yeah, we do want to arrest you. We do want to press charges. Please arrest them.
We got to stop that mother Faulkner. That was another good one.
All right.
I
Thank
like
you,
that.
Stephen.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, just this again, like, this is where it just like I found myself just kind of going, yeah, okay. Like nothing really funny kind of happens anymore. It's just that it's that trope of a lot of the movies we do in the 80s, 90s where they're like, oh, it'd be so funny. We'll tell all these funny jokes. And they're like, oh, but we got to end it. Mm-hmm. Okay, then let's just end the movie.
Well, let's just have them chase him. It'll be kind of funny to watch them chase them.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exploding coconuts.
Exploding coconuts.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Let's make Dr. Faulkner just kind of kooky at this
And then
point.
let's pretend that they do get blown up and everybody thinks they got blown up.
Yeah.
But then they did it with no explanation of where the bomb went off and how they got saved.
Perfect.
Done. Ooh, let's set up a Biodome 2.
Faulkner's Revenge.
Yeah.
Faulkner's Revenge.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes. It'll just be in the desert, and Faulkner will be dead because he ran into the desert. No.
Yep.
What I thought about though was if they're I just forgot.
Damn it.
Dang it, guys!
Dang it.
Why'd you do that to
sorry.
me? It's everyone's fault, not mine.
No, absolutely. I take full responsibility for that.
And maybe this is weird. Is this weird? Like, do you guys ever pee on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, why not?
Is that
world
just
is your bathroom.
Is that just a Midwest thing because like we do have so much open space in Iowa? Like
fucking
whenever
Arizona.
Dude, but what I'm saying is like the premise of this movie is that they really had to pee and they were in the middle of the desert, and instead of just pulling over and peeing, they had to find a toiletry inside that mall.
I mean, I get, a shy bladder not being able to perform in front of people under pressure.
So wouldn't it be better if you were just with your best bud that you've probably like...
Oh, you've definitely seen his cock.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be better if you were just in the middle of the desert and on the side of the road just going, oh.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Because
Movie solved.
Where do they end up going into next?
The nuclear plant.
Nuke plant?
Or wherever. Like,
Something like that. Oh, this will be funny.
ha, Biodome 2.
I did remember what I was going to say. Is there any world that you guys lived in, if you can truly think back to the first time you saw this movie and you saw the explosion at the end, that you really thought, oh no, they might be dead.
Yeah?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Bullshit, Mike.
No, I'm just joking.
It's like,
Whoa.
oh man, that's how. Yeah, no, I totally buy this ending potential. They might be dead. No, come on. Like I get for the dramatic effect and stuff, but it was just like, man, the cheese on top of the coconut, man. No, thank you.
That's where it has problems for me is it just kind of dies out around here. You know what I mean? Well, boys, you
That's
got
it.
anything else to talk about on Biodome?
That is it for me.
Absolutely not.
We've done it. We've done better than anybody else has ever done
You're
on this
right.
movie, and I guarantee that. So we got to give it a modern day rating. This is where people always tend to hate us on these type of movies, but we are your tried and true gospel. AJ, what do you think about this for a modern day rating?
Whatever. It's the best movie ever.
When was the last time you saw it? 25 years ago?
My childhood in a nutshell. Coconut shell.
Nice.
Oh gosh. It's so hard to do to like rate a movie like this. I feel like, this is 100% a movie that you have to be in the proper mindset for, in the proper headspace, in the proper group, to be able to watch this movie and have a good time. I think when you have surpassed any like college years, right, of just trying to be funny and trying to be interesting because you like an old Pauly Shore movie. There are very funny moments in it. Stephan Baldwin, I remember fighting with my brother because I was like, no, somebody said it's Stephan Baldwin. I was like, no, it's not. It's the guy who played Fred in the Flintstones. And then it turns out we were both right. It's Stephan Baldwin. It very well could have like had negative impact on his career. Who knows? It's a fun movie to watch, guys. If you're not in the right headspace for it, you very well may not enjoy it. But if you are and you're around the right group of people, I think you will have a good time. That being said, I don't need to revisit this movie. I would rather watch, if we're talking about this era of Pauly Shore, I would rather watch Jury Duty. I would rather watch In the Army Now. That was another favorite of mine. So that being said, and considering maybe where I probably place some of our other Pauly Shore movies, I've got to be realistic on this. I love Pauly Shore. I think there's some great creative choices in the movie, and then there's some not so great creative choices, guys. Long story short, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 5.05.
Sean, what about you?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said, AJ. I think I love Pauly Shore. I love Stephen Baldwin. There's some moments where they have together that are fun. William Atherton. There's some good-looking people in it. And then, like I said about the plot, I'm like, that's a clever way to do it. But it's like it's formulaic still. I can kind of say that this is like maybe one of the most perfect like background movies ever made.
Yeah, bro.
Like it does have a vibe to it.
Well
that
played.
is
Well said.
that is fine. But then like that vibe gets it sets a vibe, but then it gets kind of creeped upon and encroached upon with the annoyingness of the movie. Yeah, man. I'm sorry. It's a 3.8 for me.
3.8 for Sean. For me, yeah, like I defended this in our trial episode, and I still do. Like it holds such a place in my heart for the memories. Kind of like Josh said, like the memories of watching this back in the day are hard to take out of this.
Yeah.
And it's still very funny, and it'll be the first movie I show Willa.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one. Yep, just joking. But I would. I mean, like whatever. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 5.6. It's my least favorite modern day of the Pauly Shores we've done, but it's still like. It's still there. It's definitely not one of the worst ones we've done. Josh Miller says, so it's fairly safe to say it's been at least 20 years since I've seen it, and honestly, it's probably been more than that. You know how I know this? During the rewatch, I saw a young Jack Black and a skinny Kyle Gass as very, very early Tenacious D. It's really the same movie it's always been, certainly no better than it used to be, and only worse because of being a nearly 30-year-old Pauly Shore movie. They didn't set out to make a movie that would be remembered 20 years, 10 years, or even 2 years later. Stripping away the nostalgia, this movie isn't great, but it never was. Sure, some of the jokes, most of the jokes are really immature. Some scenes pretty cringy today with unwanted sexual advances. There are plot holes galore, too many for me to even bring up. Hopefully you guys mention a couple. One of the funnier parts I never caught was in the beginning when they light the firecrackers to get inside and one of the reporters tells, "Over there on the grassy knoll, assassins, assassins." I look at my girlfriend and ask, did she just reference the JFK assassination in a Pauly Shore movie? This movie still made me chuckle, had a few really good laughs, When will I seek it out to watch again? It could easily be next year, as it could be never. But I know if I walked into your guys' house and it was on, I'd be fuck yeah, sit down, enjoy every bit of it.
Very true.
But cutting through all the nostalgia, it's barely a good bad movie. I'd like to give it a 4.22 because of Earth Day, but that is too on the nose and too low. I give it a 5.20 for World B Day. So, guys, that is a 4.91 as a group. I don't think that's going to be the worst we've ever done, but it's going to be pretty low. 4.91 is going to take that into bottom 10, fellas. So we think that Jingle All the Way, Over the Top, Harry and the Hendersons, The Cutting Edge is better than this.
Yeah.
But we also think this is better than Bad Boys, Explorer, and GoldenEye.
Oh.
Explorers.
I feel like it's gonna be coming time for us to be able to do a score revamp again.
It's okay.
I think it's coming around to be time for that, guys.
All right.
I just want to put that out there.
I was looking at my thing or my ratings.
There's some bad ones
that
in
I
there.
done, and Cocktail was like 3.7, and then Explorers for me was like 3.9, and so I'm like, I think I'd rather watch Biodome rather than Cocktail, and I would rather watch Explorers rather than Biodome.
I hated Explorers. In
Well,
modern day, it was just like, ugh.
That third act is about impossible. Let's be honest,
It's
guys.
just a better made movie than Biodome.
Correct.
The first two are like, yeah, and then like the third act, but
It's time. It's time for a rescore.
looking through, I saw my score, Lost Boys. I'm like, I need to revisit.
Thank you,
this.
yes.
So,
All right, look forward to a brunch coming up here soon, and we're glad you were here with us. Thanks for being here. Tune in next week. I got some stuff to unveil here. Next week, we are doing Days of Thunder. You know about this.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's time to unveil. Hopefully, you've made it this far. We are doing May of Swayze Uncaged.
Let's
Yeah.
go, baby.
We're taking away the Michael Bay. We're adding some Patrick Swayze. What's going to be hitting you is Donnie Darko,
Yep.
Dirty Dancing, The Outsiders, National Treasure, and Face Off, all in the month of May.
oh, you're welcome.
You're
Sorry.
welcome. Don't worry about it.
Sorry we've given you the best month of programming you've ever had in your entire life.
Oh, that's so crazy. Oh my God, look at that.
And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year, something exactly the same as Biodome, Fargo.
Oh, it's just
Oh,
up there.
that's about
Saving the environment, man.
basically the same movie. I mean, if you really think about it, it's basically Encino Man. That's all a lie, guys. Go back and listen to Fargo because maybe Sean convinced me about how I felt about that movie. Who knows? Thank you for listening. Make sure you guys are checking us out on YouTube, listening along while you're watching along. Check us out on the social media at Confused Breakfast. Search for Confused Breakfast anywhere on social media and keep up with us there. By all means, leave us a review, guys. Drop 5 stars for us if you can. Smash that subscribe button on whatever platform that you're listening on, because most people don't even subscribe to the podcasts that they're listening to. They just happen to throw them on. Okay, so hit that subscribe button, guys.
Subscribe to some shirts on your body. How about you go to confusedbreakfast.com as well to get some of that? All right, get some stickers. You can get some koozies and Not Your Father's Beer shirts on Instagram. You can also go to that same damn website, confusedbreakfast.com, to see the ratings of the movies we've done on the show. See our individual ratings as well as the shows overall. Thank you. I love you.
Support us by supporting our sponsors. Go to all those codes in the notes. Get all those discounts. Do that for us. Also sponsor us directly. Patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. We are produced by the Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids. We got Logs on the controls today. And we're on the Cloud10.fm podcast network. Learn more at cloud10.fm. I got to pee more than I've ever had to pee in my life.
Viva Los Biodome!
Viva Las Biodome!